Hey gang, thanks for stopping by. I hope you all are having a good day. So this video is just highlights that I really have found peculiar and interesting from the Joe Rogan interview that he did with Trump. It's the entire interview is over 3 hours, and just I recommend you watching it just for the content of it. But I might actually even show it in a premiere tomorrow if I have time. But nonetheless, check this out. Pretty wild and interesting, and we all know what club that Joe's in. But nonetheless, love y'all. Enjoy.
Do you like JD as a
I like
pick?
him a lot. Yeah.
You're allowed to say that. As,
No, I do. I like him
no,
a lot.
I think he's good.
I think he's a brilliant guy, and I think his ability to talk like a normal human being. You did my friend Theo Vaughn's podcast,
Right.
and he just did it.
How did he do
He
with
did
it?
great. He just talks
Is that
like
why
a
you
normal
called me
human
to
being.
do this? Is that why you called me to do this?
No. We
Holy
were,
cow.
I was.
He was a nice
once
guy.
they shot you, I was like, he's got to come in here. It's all about timing. It's all about the timing.
Timing's
I think
good.
timing's perfect. Do you even have a scar on your ear? You got anything on there?
I do.
Do you even have a scar on your ear? You got anything on there?
I do.
What do we say? What do we got there?
So, right over here.
Oh, it's a tiny little
See,
mark.
it zicked right there.
Yeah. But it healed up pretty fucking good.
Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's little. It's not like some of the wrestlers, some of the UFC fighters.
No, you didn't
It's
get
a little bit-
cauliflower
No. It was sort of like a top shot.
Mm-hmm.
The point of the bullet was a
Boy.
little of the ass, but you see the thing's taken off a little bit. But
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it because it could get copyright strike, and we don't want to get the episode. Well, we don't want anybody to have any sort of a way to get it down.
sure.
But it was the episode of you when you're on The View, and I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
And you got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you. They were all talking about how you might be conservative in your financial positions, but you're very liberal socially. They were talking about you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering. And then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Yeah.
But there's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked, and the way they've done it, so coordinated and systematically. And when you see those same people in the past, very favorable to you, like Oprah, when you were on Oprah's show,
Very.
she was encouraging you to be
Last
president.
week I did one of her last shows. I think maybe Thursday or Friday. That was a big deal being on Oprah's show, the last one, and I was like one of the last shows in that final week. And I said, "Boy, we've come a long way since that."
What was it like?
Well, the concept, it was really like two different lives. You know, I had a very wonderful life, but I wanted to do this. The Apprentice was still going very strong. We had 12 seasons, and we had actually 14 seasons, 12 years over. They had a couple
Well,
of
they
them.
canceled The Apprentice when you were running for president, correct?
No, they had Arnold Schwarzenegger do it. I was involved in that, and I had enough of it, and we did great. It was doing great, but they wanted me to stay. They all came to see me. They said, "We're going to give you a contract." They wanted to extend my contract. Mark Burnett is a great guy, and they wanted to extend the contract. Mark said, "You're crazy. Don't run. Don't run." No. Nobody gives up prime time, they said. You know, it's one of those little things, which is probably true.
Nobody
Most-
gives
for
up
the
prime
most-
time, though, for being president.
for running against 20 some odd people. You know, it turned out
Yeah.
to be 18. 18 professional people, you know, mostly politicians. They said, who would do this? I mean, it's a long shot. Actually, the heads of NBC came over, the Paul Telegny, all the top people came over to see me, try and talk me out of it, because they wanted to have me extend. The Apprentice was doing well. So it was 14 seasons. It was 12 years. We had 2 seasons where we had a double, which rarely happens. It was just a hot show. And I said, you know, I want to do this. What happened is previously, like 3 years, 4 years before that, they did a poll. They had Mitt Romney, and somehow they put me in a poll. And I blew everybody away. I blew him away, which isn't that hard, frankly. But I blew everybody away, and I said, that's interesting, because I never really gave it that much real thought. I thought about it, but never real thought. But I saw these polls were very good. And so I was thinking about doing it then, but I had a contract with The Apprentice. Plus, I was building 2 big buildings at the time, and I wanted to make sure they got finished up properly. And it was one of those things. The kids were just sort of getting involved. They're very capable kids, but they were getting involved early on. So I did that. I got them done. I had some very good successes. And I came on, and then I thought about it for the next one after the Romney disaster.
And I ran and I won against Hillary. It was quite an experience, but it was a different life because you're right, The View, I was on The View many, many times, and they loved me.
Just the way people would talk. I mean, even if people had criticisms about you, people that didn't like you, there was always feuds and stuff like that, but the reality was the thing turned on you when they found out that you were going to be president.
It was very coordinated, very coordinated, very coordinated.
And some people are catching on to that now. There's a lot of people that were longtime Democrats, like Elon and Bill Ackman, and all these different, very intelligent people.
And they support me now. Bill Ackman supports me. He's
Yes.
very supportive, too.
This is what I wanted to ask you.
What was it like when you actually got in? Because nobody really can prepare you for that. When you're running for president, you don't really know what it's going to be like when you actually get into office. What did you think
So
it
do
was
you
going to
mean
be
in
like?
office or when I decided to run? So
No, when you got in.
when I was in. So when I was in and won and was in the White House, essentially.
Yes.
Well, first of all, it was very surreal.
I would
You know,
imagine.
it's very interesting. When I got shot, it wasn't surreal. That should have been surreal. When I was laying on the ground, I knew exactly what was going on. I knew exactly where I was hit. They were saying you were hit all over the place because there was so much blood from the ear. You would know that better than anyone. When they get the ear torn up,
Ears bleed a lot,
they
yeah.
bleed. Anyway, so and I was thinking the other day, when that happened, I really knew where I was. I knew exactly what happened. I said I wasn't hit anywhere else. With the presidency, it was a very surreal experience. Okay,
Like,
And
what's day one like?
so,
You win.
Yeah,
You get inaugurated.
so-
Holy shit, I'm the president.
Yeah, that's what happened. So I'm driving down Pennsylvania Avenue. I just built a building on Pennsylvania, the hotel, the old post office it was. We called it Trump National Hotel. And we sold it to the Waldorf Astoria. And it was a wonderful thing. But I'm driving down, I'm passing the hotel. You've never seen so many motorcycles, police, military. You know, it was a major thing. I got off really the first time I used Air Force One, landed, and we're coming down, and it was very beautiful. I mean, it was incredible. And we're going down Pennsylvania Avenue in the opposite direction. You know, normally you're used to going one way, and all of a sudden you're going the other way. The street was loaded up, and I wanted to go out, and I wanted to wave to everybody, but that wasn't smart. You know, it's a little bit dangerous, right? I mean, when you watch like Kennedy and some
Yeah.
others, right? But I really felt, I don't know, the love was so crazy. And so I did get out of the car for a brief, just for a very short walk. I thought it was very important to do. And Melania got out with a beautiful dress on that became sort of a staple. It was, people loved it. And Barron and we're walking down the street. But where it really got amazing, we get to the White House, and now it's a little bit before dark, beautiful. And we went up to the president's quarters. They call them the presidential quarters. And I'm standing in this beautiful hallway. It's funny, nobody ever talks about the White House as being beautiful inside. You think it's going to be, everything's going to be all metal doors and stuff. It's not.
It's so beautiful. I made my money largely on luxury. The hallway is like 25 feet wide. The ceiling heights are, it's so beautiful. But I was standing there, and I said to the guys, I want to see the Lincoln bedroom. I had never seen the Lincoln bedroom. I'd heard about the Lincoln bedroom. And I was standing with my wife. I said, do you believe it? This is the Lincoln bedroom. I mean, it was like...
It was amazing.
it was amazing.
Because look, if you love the country, but here, the Lincoln bedroom. And the bed, he was very tall. He was 6'6", which then would be like Barron. Right. Would be like Barron Trump. He's 6'9". But 6'6" is very tall. It's a long bed, elongated bed. Because people were shorter than you see some of the chairs are very, very low to the ground, actually. But he had a long bed. I can't beat Robert because Robert E. Lee won many battles in a row. He was just beating the hell out of him. You know, they tried to get Robert E. Lee to be on the North, but he said, it's good debates.
Everyone's aware of all this stuff. What I want to get to is like, what was the experience once you got inside?
It was
Like,
just
what
a
did you think it was going to be like in terms of like your ability to govern?
Yeah.
Like, this is your first experience governing anything. You've never been a
Yeah. It was
governor.
always
You've never been a
private.
mayor.
Yeah,
Right.
private stuff.
Business.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden
Well,
you're inside the White House.
The biggest thing was just that first moment of being in this hallowed. It was really a hallowed place to
Right.
me. It was
Surreal.
It was beyond. To me, that was the experience. It was a surreal experience. And then.
With time, that wears off. With time, it becomes, your place where you stay. And I was doing a lot of, I had two things that I really focused on: governing the country and survival. Because from the moment I won, before I got to office, all of a sudden, they came down. Nobody has ever been treated that way. And you see that. You see where in the Washington Post very early on they said, well, now the impeachment stuff starts. And it did. It literally started from the beginning. So I had survival and run the nation. I had a combination. Most people don't have the survival, they get in.
You were a Democrat until like what year?
I was a Democrat. I could get you the exact, but the early '90s. The early '90s. I switched over eventually. Actually, it's real. It's pure and simple. It's a two-party system.
Right.
Somebody spent $250 million trying to get the nomination as a Reform Party candidate or whatever. You get eaten. You just get eaten. The system eats you alive.
System eats you alive.
Right.
I always got more publicity than other people, and I didn't. It wasn't like I was trying. In fact, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can tell me why.
I could definitely tell you. You said a lot of wild shit.
Maybe.
And CNN, in all their brilliance, by highlighting your wild shit, made you much more popular. Yeah. And they boosted you in the polls because people were tired of someone talking in this bullshit, pre-prepared politician lingo. And even if they didn't agree with you, they at least knew whoever that guy is, that's him. That's really him.
There's an app that you can get that will show you where the human feces has been documented in San Francisco. It's a poo app.
It's a poo app.
It's a poo app. And it's everywhere. It's just bum crap everywhere. But
In 50 years, they had one whale come ashore. Now they had like 18 come in the last year.
What is happening with the whales? I've read about this. Well, they say that the wind drives them crazy. It's a vibration because you have those. Those things are 50-story buildings, some of them. Right, and they're super sensitive to vibrations and sounds. The wind is rushing, the things are blowing. It's a vibration, and it makes noise. You know what it is? I want to be a whale psychiatrist. It drives the whales freaking crazy. And something happens with them. But for whatever reason, they're getting washed up on shore. And and yet the environmentalists... Conveniently ignored by the environmentalists. But the environmentalists, they don't talk about it. Right.
Do you like JD as a
I like him a lot. Yeah.
You're allowed to say that.
No, I do. I like him a lot.
I think he's good.
I think he's a brilliant guy, and I think his ability to talk like a normal human being. You did my friend Theo Vaughn's podcast,
Right.
and he just did it.
How did he do
He
it?
did great. He just talks
Is that
like
why
a
you
normal
called me
human
to
being.
do this? Is that why you called me to do this?
No.
Holy cow.
I was.
He was a nice
once
guy.
they shot you, I was like, he's got to come in here. It's all about timing. It's all about the timing.
Timing's
I think
good.
timing's perfect. Do you even have a scar on your ear? You got anything on there?
I do.
Let me see. What do you got there?
So, right over here.
Oh, it's a tiny
See,
little mark.
it zicked right there.
It healed up pretty fucking good.
Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's little. It's not like some of the wrestlers, some of the UFC fighters.
No, you didn't
It's
get
a little bit.
cauliflower
No. It was sort of like a top shot. Mm-hmm. The point of the bullet was a little of the ass, but you see the thing's taken off a little bit. But it makes me a tougher guy. The fighters. The fighters love their. Bo Nickel. He's a great fighter.
Yeah, I love Bo Nickel.
How's he going to do? I think he's
He's
terrific.
great. He's a fantastic
He was
fighter.
almost like undefeated in college.
He's a fantastic wrestler and one of the best mixed martial
When is
artists.
he fighting again?
He's fighting in Madison Square Garden in November.
Oh, that's going to be after the election?
Yep.
So I'll either go as president or I'll be depressed and I won't bother going. I think they're having a fight right now.